I want to say this as I get rolling today. And I was thinking about this, reflecting on this yesterday and while I was out on vacation for Christmas and New Year's celebration, I was reflecting as I was watching what's happening in my country today. And I've said over and over again that my country is not coming back. And I know a lot of people have false hope and belief that it is, but it's not. Now, that doesn't mean you can't live in my country in perfect peace, perfect harmony with yourself. But the country itself, the people who are in this country, it's not coming back. Meaning that it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And the reason that it's going to, one of the reasons, is that if you really, 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 just really, really, really pay attention to what's happening outside of you, inside of you too, but if you pay attention to the inside, you're going to see the outside clearly. But if you pay attention to what's happening in my country today, and it starts in the home. It's not just in government, in businesses, on the playground and places like that. It starts in the home. What I've noticed and I'm seeing is that human beings, human nature, human beings are evil to the core. And human beings treat each other with pure evil, no love. Pure evil. You know, you hear people say, oh, human beings are naturally good people. That's a lie. That is a lie to the core. The human nature is evil, and the human nature goes against God. Human nature hates God. It hates good. And if you pay attention to what's happening around you and in the media and in the country and blah, 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 human nature, human beings are treating each other, men and women of all races, are treating each other horribly. Young and old, rich and poor, if there's such a thing. They are treating each other horribly. And each human being is out to get what they can get. They don't care about you, and you don't care about them. Human nature is evil. But there is something that is happening in my country that I don't hear a lot about, and I hear some people mention it, but it's not up for debate like other things. There is something that's happening in my country and around the world, really. But I put my country first. But it is happening around the world. But I put my country first, America first. You know, you put home, take care of home first, right? That is unspoken for the most part. Listen up, folks. Put your ears close to the radio. Turn your headsets up. If you're working out or something and you have on headphones. There is something that's happening in my country that is worse. When I say worse, I mean like way worse. Worse than slavery in any form or manner. Worse than slavery. Worse than abortion. Worse than abortion. Way worse than abortion. Worse than the fight between the races, so-called races. It's worse than It worse than I can't think of anything that this is worse than. It's worse than the women's right, civil rights, movement rights, rights. This is worse than, it's number one. And it's pure evil. It's worse than abortion. It's worse than, I can't think of anything that is worse than. There's nothing that has ever happened in our country that is worse than this. And it's pure evil. And it's deliberate. And it's coming through Christians, male and female Christians, secular people, rich people, poor people, black people, white people, Chinese, Japanese, Asian, Mexicans. It comes through all people. And it's the worst thing and the most dangerous thing that could ever happen to human beings. And unless it change, and I don't see a change coming, I do see one or two people changing, but I don't see a change coming. Now, I do see some men and women changing, those who are working on themselves as individuals. There is a deliberate attack on men. And I thought about the word attack on men. That word is not good enough to express what's happening. There is an evil by Christian women in the pulpit, those women who teach Sunday school and Sunday classes and read the Bible, and those men who are going along with it, secular men and women. The attack upon men, and really is upon God through man. The attack is worse than anything else that could ever happen to a human being. To get rid of men. When you get rid of men, you're getting rid of God. And you're putting women in charge. You're opening up the gates of hell. You're opening up the gates of hell. Hell comes through the woman. And there, in my country today, there's a big push, a major push. There's this one woman of whom I will not name. She is as phony as Allah Abba. She teaches a Bible class. She does a TV show, and she's always spouting God, and she's pushing women like nothing going north because she's evil in the name of Jesus. And she has a phony, fake, evil grin as though she's so innocent and so nice and so God-loving. And feel sorry for everybody. Oh, the attack upon men. I use the attack, but it's a battle between good and evil. And the one thing I want you to know for sure and without a doubt, women hate men. They hate men. And yet they yearn for a man. Their heart desire to return to the Father. This attack upon men in my country, it's happening around the world, is what's going to bring America all the way to its knees. And anyone that promotes women over men are telling you that they are evil. They hate God. And it doesn't matter if they read the Bible or go to church or hoop and holler or whatever they do, or secular or agnostic or whatever they may call themselves. Any woman, any female, or any male that promote the woman over the man is worshiping evil. They have chosen evil over good. And they're proud of it. They love evil. If you just open your eyes and look around your country, my country, America, and see what has happened since women have taken over, and they're still pushing women like nothing going on. And there's nothing that has happened that's good. Nothing, zero. It is not in the woman's nature to be leaders. It is not in her nature to lead men. Every time the man listens to the woman, he suffers. That's not my rule. It's a spiritual order. Every time you listen to the woman, you suffer, and you will suffer. And if you look at the schools and look at the good old days when men were in charge, everything was working. There were issues, but not like this. And some dumb, blind, angry, evil people think, oh, well, the men didn't do it right, so you might as well give it to the woman. The woman is smarter than the man. That's a lie. The woman is very cunning and evil until she sees it and overcome it. By forgiving her father, her mother, for turning away from her father, she's yearning for the father. It's a battle between good and evil, and the evil is coming through women and through men who have not overcome their mothers. I would urge you, do what you want, but you better wake up and see what's going on before it's too late. I was paying attention to them, flipping through the channels over the time that I was out. It appears that most of the TV shows, both conservative, so-called conservative, and liberal, are promoting women. It makes you sick. They're just promoting women. It's pure. It's so evil that you can hardly look at it. News anchors, weather reporters, this and that, all women. If it's a story about the military, the woman is from, they're using an expert woman. If it's about health or whatever, it's about mowing the grass, they got women. And it's all phony and it's all evil. Satan is ruling my country now, but he doesn't have to rule you. As an individual, you can overcome evil. You can overcome the world, but it's up to you. But it's time to wake up. A storm is coming, and it's coming through the woman. There is literally no difference, zero difference, except for the woman that is waking up by looking at herself and dropping her anger, by forgiving her mother and return to her father. There's literally zero difference between a Christian woman and a secular woman and an atheist woman and a agnostic woman, whatever they want to call themselves, right? They're all the same. There's no difference. There is zero difference. And you can find out for yourself. Disagree with a Christian woman, one that thinks she knows it all, and see what happens. Watch the media and these women who are in control of the media. They're like anchor women or whatever you want to call them, news reporters. Watch who they have to bring on as an expert. Once in a while, they'll throw in a male, and he's weak as 90 going no. He's like beta. I would suggest that you wake up before it's too late. The Adam and the Eve thing is happening. The world is the Old Testament. And if you're living in the world and of it as well, you're evil. America, the problem is not racism, sexism, homophobism, anti-Semitism, and it's not isms. It's the lack of men loving God with all their heart, soul, and might, along with nothing else or nobody else, but loving the woman as your God. And that love you have for the woman is hate. It's not love. Because if it was love, you'd bring her out of the hell she's in instead of going into her hell. And you wouldn't be afraid. America, you talked about how Christianity is under attack. Christianity is under attack by attacking men. Attacking men. I have realized that the Republican Party, for example, and the Democratic Party is absolutely the same. You can close your eyes and just vote for either one, you'll be just fine. It's going to be hell either way. The Republicans are putting in as many women, black women, whatever, colored women, as the Democratic Party is. They're pushing everything that the Democratic Party is pushing. Other than voting for Donald Trump, there's no reason to vote for the Republican Party. Zero reason. Because all they're doing is thinking of themselves, the representatives are. Inwardly, they have the same belief that non-Christians, that hateful women who hate men have. It's no different. Has anything gotten better since Trump left? Has the Republican Party done anything to make America better? All they did was pretend they care about going after Joe Biden's son or Joe Biden, they pretend. I don't even think that's real, to be honest. And what will that benefit us, the American people? And now all of a sudden, election times are here, and you start to hear the Republican, they care so much about the borders all of a sudden, right? That old white guy from South Carolina that should have been outlawed, Lindsey Graham, I think his name is. Is that Lindsey Graham, Sean? Lindsey Graham was saying the other day in the media, the borders are real important. What will I tell my constituency when I go back to my district? If I vote for this bill to send money to Ukraine or Israel, but haven't done anything for the border, he hasn't done anything all along. And he was for the war in Ukraine, and he's been voting to send money to Ukraine. Why all of a sudden he's concerned about sending money instead of the borders? It's all a game. It's all a lie. They tell you lies, and they print and care, and they lie. But you can't see it because you're not paying attention to what's happening through you. There's nothing worse than the attack on men in my country. They've already wiped out the other foreign countries, so that's why I'm not really mentioning. Look at poor Africa. Poor Africa. They wiped out the black man over in Africa so long ago that it's hopeless. And it's the same thing to black males in America. They wiped them out 70 years ago when they brought in the government and gave the woman money and told her she's better than the man. You don't need no man. except to make some babies so you can get more welfare. And the average black male, look at him. Not all, but most. Robbing, stealing, murdering, breaking in people's home, carjacking, homeless, begging, blaming the white man. Living in an illusion of a past. And white men, they're doing the same thing to you as quiet as it kept. Slowly but surely. My producer mentioned yesterday about the boiling water with the frog in the water, in the pot, and the water slowly. That's what they're doing to white men. Look how desperately they're trying to get rid of the one white man who said no to evil, who has no fear and said no to the evil ones. Republicans, Democrats, Christians, non-Christians alike are going after him. The one white man that is in their way. The attack is upon men, and it's coming through the woman. Starting in the home with your mama. Your mama hates your daddy. She's turning you away from your father and recreating you in her image, which is of evil, boys and girls. And that's why the girls end up doing the same thing the mamas end up doing, because they have the nature of the mother, which is the nature of the devil, instead of their own nature. And the men have it too, until they return to the Father. It's a spiritual battle. And you're so foolish and blind, you think it's physical. Because you're not working on yourself. And whatever they tell you to say and do, you just say it. And you just do it. It's hell on earth. But you can be free of the hell as an individual, but you got to work on you. And I suggest you do, but do what you want. Every adult human being, as an individual, is responsible for yourself. No one else is, for your own hell or your overcoming. But men, may God have mercy on your soul when you go along promoting women as leaders, as smart, and as clever, as whatever you're saying. You bring on your own destruction. You are calling evil good. You call it evil good. And women, you go along with this too, damnation is yours. It doesn't matter how much glorifying you get, you still gonna have hell in yourself.